Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Danny Wallace. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Bohill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Sol, good morning. Bhavna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Look, I'm not... What kind of professional am I? I've not even set up. Wait, hang on. Wait there, everyone. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me get the shit weather map on the go. There we go. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. I have not a stitch of makeup on this morning, so I'm going to do my makeup with you today. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, Danny Wallace. I am the Queen Bee, and you are too, or the King Bee, or the Royal Bee. However it is that you identify, you are most welcome here. As we bring all kinds of conversations to the table. I've been flying solo for a fair bit this week, actually. We've had 2 guests and 3 solo shows this week, and that's because this week is Challenge Week in the Hive. So this week we have been in challenge mode. What does that mean? It means that I've been using my skills as a public speaking coach to help as many of you in my community as possible become more visible. So I've been challenging you this week to step out of your comfort zones and speak about your business and your mission message. So there have been loads of you that have been taking part. I think we've had about 50, 60 people who've actually actively been taking part. Even more of you have been sort of watching along and commenting along, and it's been brilliant. It's been fantastic. And tonight at 8 p.m, we are going to be celebrating all of the incredible achievements that you guys have had this week. And also we are going to be premiering. We are going to be premiering the brand new IATQB promo video. Honestly, it's brilliant. I can't wait to share it with you all. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about sharing it because sometimes what might land for me might not land for everybody else. But I've been working with a phenomenal team to get this ready. So this is the video that's going to go on the website. This is the video that we're going to be hosting ads to. All sorts of stuff is going to be going on with this video. It's going to be a real integral part of our marketing strategy going forward. So I want you guys to see it first. So please do join me at 8 p.m. tonight on the Queen Bee Danny page on Facebook. We're going to be having a celebration. Bring Prosecco or a brew or some water. I've got a brew this morning, no Prosecco this morning. It's like a bucket. Is it huge? I got these from B&M Bargains. If you're from the UK, B&M Bargains is it's kind of a discount homeware store, but it's bloody brilliant. These are massive. Like, these definitely 2 ordinary mugs of coffee in there, decaf, you'll be pleased to know, because your girl does not need any more caffeination. So yeah, I'm going to be live at 8 p.m. this evening. We're going to be celebrating. I'm going to premiere the video. I'm also going to be sharing with you how to become more charismatic. So one of the things that lots of people ask me all the time is, I don't think people will find me interesting. I don't know how to be charismatic. And often, and this is often when we talk about things like confidence and what have you, confidence and charisma are often misread, are often misunderstood. That confidence and charisma does not necessarily mean that you are the loudest person in the room. Some of the most charismatic, some of the most confident people I know are actually very quiet people. They're introverted people. They get their energy from filling up in solitude. And I kind of want to squash some of those myths around charisma and star quality tonight. So whilst we're on the red carpet together, whilst we are celebrating, so I thought I would share that with you this evening. So please do come and join me at 8 p.m. Let me know in the comments if you're coming along tonight, if you're going to be here for the celebration. I'm also going to be announcing the winners of the challenge this week. So whenever I do a challenge, we have a competition. With that competition, there comes some pretty epic prizes. So the winner of the competition will win a Spartan Strategy retreat with me. And so I will be announcing that person tonight. Also, someone else will win a Harvey Nichols hamper. Someone else will win a Hotel Chocolat hamper. And also, we've got some spot prizes just for being on the live itself. So if you're watching and you've not been taking part in the challenge, that's okay. Join us tonight at 8 o'clock and see how you can win some IATQB swag. You all know I like a bit of swag. If I was a Transformer, I would be Swagtimus Prime. Like, that's what I would be. Wingardium Swagiosa would be my spell if I was a Harry Potter wizard. So, yeah, come along tonight, 8 p.m. In the meantime, what are we talking about today? What is the show about today? So don't have a guest today. I am flying solo. I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup and I'm going to open the floor to ask me anything. So imagine there's lots of things that I could talk to you about. What I would love is if you felt like this morning, you can ask me absolutely anything. So you can utilize this time with me right now to pick my brains. So I'm feeling brave. Swagtimus Prime, right? Or Optimus Swag. Either way, that's me. So you all know I love a little bit of merch. So yeah, whilst you're having a think about the questions that you can ask me, you can pick my brains, either from a self-sabotage point of view, from an opinion point of view, from a public speaking point of view. You could pick my brain this morning. However, do you remember yesterday I told you I was going to have an experience last night? Well, y'all, I did. I had an experience with my incredible tattoo artist. And I know I said this yesterday. That makes it sound very much like, as part of my entourage, I have a resident tattoo artist. I don't. But I do have some incredible friends who are some phenomenal tattoo artists. So I went to see, she's providing a new service. So my gorgeous friend, Lou Nixon, at Woodland Realm in Bamber Bridge. I know some of you were asking. I know, Leonie, you were asking me about that yesterday. This is too pale for me, by the way. I will remedy. Don't ask me questions about my foundation today because it's not the right one and I can't get to the super drug. Did you see the word tattoo? Pixie knows. Yes, you did. So I went for an experience with regards to a tattoo last night. I went to Woodland Realm with Lou, who's doing a brand new experience style tattoo. It wasn't pre-planned. The artwork was not pre-planned. It was, so the experience was, we went to the tattoo place, the tattoo parlor, after it had closed to the general public. So it was all lovely and quiet. And it was all like beautifully lit. And it's called Woodland Realm. And it feels like that when you go in. And it was, so the idea is that we do a meditation together. And as part of that medication, we didn't take any medication, just FYI. As part of that meditation, those of you that are woo, shut your ears. We asked, and you know, I'm open to any and all here. I am completely open-minded with all things spiritual. Like I'm here for the woo, I'm here for the do, I'm here for everything in between. So we asked our spirit guides and my ancestors. I don't know if that was like my grandma, I don't know who this was, but my ancestors to come through. I've lost my bloody after you'll have to do. To come through and to give us some symbols. So we meditated on the fact that I wanted a tattoo that would signify abundance and community, because those are two values that are really, really, really like close to my heart. Something I do need to ask. Mugs, can we make them a thing? I'm missing one in my life. Yes, is the short answer. All of the profits from all of my merch go to the Flying Away Foundation. So we just have to keep a close eye on like merch line and things like that. But yes, there will be a mug situation in the not too distant future. I love a mug. And the reason why we don't have a mug is because if I want an IATQB mug, I want something different. I don't want just one of them ones. You know what I mean? You often get them free with stuff, and they're just like a cylindrical mug, and they're not very inspiring. So if I get a mug, I want like a proper like. Oh, I really love drinking my brew out of that mug. So So Lou sat me down. She was like, okay, so what symbols would you like, or your ancestors, spirit guides, whoever, your subconscious, source energy, however you want to look at it, to show you? Like, I was like, right, I really want something that's for me that specifically pertains to abundance and community. Okay, so she put on some beautiful music, and I led down on the tattoo cat, snuggled up in a blanket, and there, and I'm led there. And right at the beginning, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this before, but when I first start meditating, or if I go to something like a float tank or something like that, have any of you been to like an Epsom salt float tank? Sensory deprivation chamber is what they're called, which sounds very kinky, but it's not at all, I promise. Not that it would be an issue if it was. However, it's not. It's a sort of source of meditation. And in the first couple of minutes of meditation, often your brain scrambles around for something to do because it is so used to doing stuff. It's so used to having to work. And actually what you're doing when you're meditating is you're resting. You're trying to rest your brain. You're not actively involved in the thought process. The only thing you need to think about when you're meditating is your breath, is just being in the present moment. So then your brain will do all sorts of things in the first few minutes, like throwing you up all sorts of stuff, trying to logic stuff out. What are we doing? How should I be feeling right now? And then once that all starts to settle down, your brain starts to meander, your thoughts start to meander, and it's really cool, like, to be a part of that. It's like lucid dreaming almost, I guess. So what happens in the first instance when my brain was throwing up all sorts of stuff? Remember, I knew that I was there to get a tattoo. So my brain's going, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if we had a bee and a hive and some honey and so on? That would be abundance of community, wouldn't it? But actually, that was my brain telling me what kind of tattoo I would like. And that was not the point of it. It was to almost like tap into your subconscious, that bit of yourself that is, infinite, I guess, and to look for signs within that. So it was really interesting what came through once I'd realized that actually I was fighting my consciousness, if you will. Does this sound really weird? I don't even care if it sounds weird, because the outcomes were brilliant. So if the whole woo thing doesn't work for you, I get it. If the whole, like, oh, I speak to spirit stuff, like, I get it. Like, I would never profess to be able to speak to spirit. However, I have friends that say that they can, and I'm here for them, and I support them, and I love them. And sometimes some of the things that they share with me are so inexplicable that I'm just here for it. Like, why not? I don't know the answers to everything, and I'm a scientist in the way that my brain works. I'm a logical P. I love science, as well you lot know. When I, do my training and on my courses, we talk about the science of speaking, the science of confidence, and not just the woo stuff. But like I said to you right at the beginning here, I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the woo and the do. So the practice of meditation is the practice of allowing yourself to connect with yourself instead of being an active participant, being a voyeur. And that was when the really interesting stuff started to come through. So it was only a 15-minute meditation. We weren't there for ages, but really interesting stuff started to come through. So for me, I saw the sea. And I don't mean the sea as in the beach. And I dreamt about the sea last night, which was really, really strange. I have a recurring dream about being on a cruise ship on choppy waters. And so I I meditated, and I kind of saw, my brain served up to me a like sailboat, but with really like billowy white sails. So for me, like in my mind, when I think about abundance, and I've spoke to my incredible cousin Sarah Stone about this, who's got her business is Creative Feng Shui, and she talks about Chinese symbols and stuff. So a sailboat is creating the idea that money or abundance or whatever it is sailing to you, like it's easy, and the sails on the boat allow for a much smoother course and all of that. And then the community bit is, obviously you need a crew to sail a ship, you need a community in order to sail a ship, right? So that's the first thing that came through. And then just before she told me to wake up, it was like the back of my eyes. I'm not saying I had a vision, calm yourselves, but it was like the back of my eyes. it's like a sort of like the vision that came to me, or the idea, or the mental image that was served up to me was like the universe, but like the Milky Way, lots of purple, swirly, blue, swirly. And bear in mind, if I get in a tattoo, I'm not getting anything swirly. Like I got traditional like style tattoos. Forgive me there. I've got traditional style tattoos. So anything sort of blue and purpley and swirly just doesn't fit in with my style. So it's definitely not something that I'm going, oh, that's the kind of style I have. Because when I have art on me, when I have, body art, I have it done and to keep it in theme, like I'm in theme all the way through. I don't have like a little bit here that looks like this and a little bit here that looks like that. So it's really strange. This was last night. Just last night. So I'm fresh from this experience. So I did say I would report back, and that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm reporting back on the experience. So then Lou told me to wake up. Or wake up or come to, or feel yourself back in your body and all of that. So I was like, right, okay, come to. Okay, that was interesting. That was, do you know what? It was really nice to lie down for 15 minutes and do shite all whilst I was at it. It was quite a nice experience in and of itself, with the beautiful music, and Lou's such a lovely soul to be around anyway. She's just just one of life's good people. She's just luscious. I love her. And anyway, I was like, what came through for you? And she was like, well, at the beginning, and I'd not said anything to her, what came through for you? And she said, well, at the beginning, I was like, oh, well, a hive and like hexagons and bees and honey and stuff. And I was like, exactly the same for me. And is that because you associate me directly with bees? And she was like, well, yeah, it was real. I had a tattoo. So the experience was that I went to go and get a tattoo last night. I'm going to show you in a minute. I went to get a tattoo last night. And it was like a spiritual healing experience whilst I was at it. So there was we did a meditation to start with, which is what I was just talking you all through. Then me and Lou discussed what we kind of was served up by our subconscious or our guides or whatever you want to fucking call it. And then from that, we created, or she interpreted that to create a tattoo, right? So she was like, right, at first I was being served up with like bees and honey and a hive. And I was like, but was that you or was that me? And we was like, oh, it was the same for us both. Of course, that would get thrown up for me in the first instance. Like, of course it would. So once she'd kind of let that bit go and allowed for whatever else came through, she was like, I actually saw like a body of water, but then that went out into the world, and then there were some hands holding the world, and there was a big sun, and that sun was like abundance and stuff. And then we were talking about how that would actually really work, that everything that I've created, my world, is something that I create now, and that's in my hands. And the Milky Way and all of that, you don't get much more abundant than the universe, right? So we had this vision that we were gonna. So she then started drawing, and it wasn't like, you've seen like ghost writing and stuff, not ghost writing, but you know what I mean, like channeling. It wasn't like that. It was just these two ideas, and then she's an incredible artist, and she brought those ideas together. So I'll show you. So this is the design that we came up with. So that, and this is not like, and I would never go into a tattoo shop and go, hey, will you do me a world holding hands with the sun and that? It just wouldn't happen. So she drew me the world, and then these are the hands holding it. And then there's the sun, the abundant sun, and then the universe at the back. So all of this for me is really symbolic and significant in terms of community. Like, I want us to be a global community. I want us to create our own world. And this is kind of where I was going with it. And then this sun, it's like abundance and light and joy and all of this sort of stuff. And you can't have lightness without having dark, but that's equally okay. And the universe is at your back. So that is the tattoo that I got. So I got the tattoo, and then she did this Reiki healing. Again, this is something that I haven't experienced before, not properly. I know some of you guys are Reiki healers, and when I've not been feeling so well, you kind of, I don't know how this works, but sent me energy and sent me the good vibes and stuff. And I always appreciate it when you guys do. But she did like a full sort of light touch Reiki healing on all the chakras. And it was so relaxing and so lovely. And her hands were like red hot. So they were just really warm around my head and around here, and here. And then when she got to not my sacrum, but she got to like my solar plexus and my knees, her hands were red hot. That's the only way I can. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was like having 2 hot water bottles on my knees. And she felt it too. She was like, have you got any problems with your knees? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I do. I don't have problems with my knees. But when I've had like tuning fork healing with the incredible Nikki Sprosen before, when I have tuning fork healing, I'm doing that because that's the motion that she uses when she's working with the energy in the tuning forks. I'm so woo. I'm so here for it all. I get a really bubbly feeling in my knees. So there's something on or around my knee chakra that always needs clearing. And it just needs work, as any work that you do on yourself. So I'm here to understand that, your knee chakra means something. And if that's an area that you need to work on, then with intentionality, I can work on that particular thing, right? Right. So anyway, she did that Reiki healing afterwards, and it was just lovely, really lovely way, beautiful way to sort of finish off what had been an incredible few hours with her. And we did the tattoo. So I am playing pants roulette this morning. So I did say to you, I didn't know whether I was going to get it on my arm or whether I was going to get it on my leg. I got it on my leg. I got it on my thigh. We are playing pants roulette this morning. I am wearing shorts this morning, and I have committed to this summer. Now I have a thigh tattoo that I want to show off, that I'm going to be showing off my tattoo. I'm going to be wearing the dresses. I'm going to be wearing the shorts. I'm going to be here for getting the pins out this summer. So I'm going to show you the tattoo. I'm going to show you. So this is the tattoo as she drew it. And this wasn't like one take and scrub it out. This is literally just what she drew. And then when it came to the end, I was like, just to have it in fitting, could we have it in a frame? And then it's not sort of too expansive. And it's got this incredible stuff on it, right? And this is why I'm telling you this now, because actually my tattoo doesn't look like this at the moment. All right, I'll show you in a sec, and I'll show you how progressively it heals. So this stuff is called second skin. And what happens is you put that over it. It's like cling film, but it sticks to the tattoo. And then in 24 hours, all of the plasma and what have you sort of gathers underneath. So it looks a bit grim, which is why I'm forewarning you. You can look away if you want to look away. So I'm such about to do like this. I'm going to show you in a second. So it's beautifully coloured in. It's got loads of colours on, but you can't really see them. So I'm going to stand up. I'm going to show you my tattoo. Move my makeup out of the way so I've got enough room. I'm wearing shorts. You'll be pleased to know I'm not just here in my knickers. The healing grim it's all part of the ride, like all of it is, yeah. So but once I've washed that off and then put another one of these on, then actually it would just stay like that for another maybe 4 or 5 days. But once that comes off, it'll be all healed. So are you ready? I don't know if I can. How can I show you? This is why. Hang on. Wait there. Right. So look. See, it looks a bit grim and it looks a bit sort of greyish and blackish, but it actually isn't. It's really bright and really vibrant, just like the rest of my tattoos. But because of the plasma that's underneath at the moment, you can't really see all of the details. So you've got a little heart here, hands here, they've got red nails, you've got the world in her hands, the sun, and then all this beautiful billowy, like, can I pick up my camera? Oh, I didn't think about that. No, the lead's dead short on it. I can't. But I will show you properly when it's healed. So yeah, incredible experience. Highly recommend it. If anybody wants to check out Lou and her work, it's the Woodland Realm at Bamber Bridge in Preston. And it is such a lovely, lovely, lovely experience. You do pay a little bit more for it, but that's because you're not just getting a tattoo. You're really relying on the skills of the artist on the day, and also the energy healing. Speaking of which, she had, right, in the Woodland Realm, this I hope you're ready for me this morning. So at the Woodland Realm, what she has as well is loads of crystals and sort of witchy type stuff. And so I was like, oh, well, whilst I'm here, I'll have a little shop around. I'll have something, you know, I want to get some things. And look what I got. I got some oracle cards. So if anybody saw a couple of weeks ago in the Hive, it was a Sunday night and it was a full moon. And I love it already, all through the grim. Yeah, it'll just be nice. It is just something else. It is, and I'm here. What's beautiful is that we can have these experiences again. And I'm not really for buying stuff. I'd rather spend my money on having experiences. Like, I'd much rather spend my money getting in the car, driving and coming to you guys, that all of those things. So these are energy oracle cards. Now, there's loads of us on this morning and I can't pull cards for everyone. I've not even pulled a card for myself yet. So I've literally, these were just in the packet. I've just taken them out. So I'm going to share those with you in a bit. Not in a bit, like in a minute. And then I got some luck anointing oil, because, you know, you can always do with a bit of extra luck. And then this, apologies. Right, I'm going to put, before I show you this, there's no reason to be squeamish for this. This is a small piece of taxidermy. And the way that the artist creates the taxidermy is by foraging. So please understand that no animals were harmed in the making of this. The animal had already passed. Does that make sense? Before I show you anything, there's nothing gruesome or squeamish. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. But this has been foraged. So this is a small piece of taxidermy. Oh man, can you see it? This is a blue carpenter bee. A blue carpenter bee, and it is absolutely, I saw it and it's absolutely beautiful. And the artist is a local artist. And what she does is she creates beautiful taxidermy from nature and from animals that have passed. So really sorry if you find that squeamish and a bit off-putting, but I just saw it and I thought, oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And I wanted it, and knowing that, you know, she's not gone out hunting the bees and they're right, sticking pins in the bees, but just it doesn't, honestly, this camera is not doing it. Just, I'll try and take a picture and I'll show you guys later, but it is absolutely stunning. And it's, so the shimmeriness of it is, it's blue. So that's the size of my hand, and that's the size of the bee. I'm not normally into taxidermy either. I'll be very honest with you. I wouldn't necessarily go and get like a mouse or something like that. But I saw it and I said to her, "Is that a bee?" She went, "Yeah, it's a." And then she told me the story behind it and the story behind the artist that creates it. And she wanted to capture these sort of moments in nature, utilizing, you know, what had already passed. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. So I got that. What else did I get? I got Wear Me Crystal Lovers. Oh, she's full of the woo this morning, that Danny Wallace. Wear Me Crystal Lovers. So as part of the experience, she was like, she has a big tray of crystals and she says, you know, I want you to associate this experience with a crystal. Have a think about the experience that you've had and whatever crystal you're drawn to, take. And this on the other side, no, it's this. It's a lapis lazuli. I didn't know what it was. I just looked at them all and thought, oh, I really like that one. It's lapis lazuli. Crystal, people that know crystals, tell me, what does even it mean? What does lapis lazuli represent? Or what's it meant to assist with? But this here was like what I could see behind my eyes when just before she told me to wake up. And that's what she'd kind of captured as well. You can't see it properly on my tap at the moment, but it's kind of what she'd captured in the sky bit, in the universe bit of my tattoo. Just really lovely, 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 lovely experience. Highly recommend. So yeah, I got my energy oracle cards. I'll read you out what they're about. The energy oracle cards are designed to reveal both the present energy you project, the present energy you project, and the results you are likely to attract. The unlimited power of your own consciousness is a vital force that moves through the universe and plants the seeds of your destiny far and wide. These easy-to-use cards help you understand what your consciousness is creating, as well as reveal any hidden blocks that may be delaying your progress. The information they bring will empower and inspire you, for it comes from heavenly messengers, friends, from the spirit realm, and your own higher self. All that you need is available to you, so let your intuition soar. Listen to the messages it brings and take your life to wonderful new heights. So, how do you lot feel about oracle cards and tarot cards? Some of you might go, no, it's not for me. Here's where I sit. I love meditating, and I love intention. So if I'm shown something, I am quite aware that I will attach meaning to it, and that will allow me to reflect and work through anything that I need to reflect and work through on, right? So this isn't about, oh, they're telling me what the future is and that's it and it's all magic. Actually, it's just a really cool thing to sort of set intentions around and say, hey, all right, so this is the thought of the day. I'm going to have a little think on this. What does it mean for me? Is this something I have to work through? Or is it something I feel really good about, really excited about? Love them. Got moon cards, fairy cards, and law of attraction cards. You love them. Anyone find them a little bit weird? Anyone think, oh, I get them, but I don't know what I'm doing with them? Like, where are you at? I'm all about it. Don't understand it particularly, but I don't need to. Some of it resonates, some of it doesn't. And Nicole, I think that's where I sit. Yeah, some of it, I don't go attaching outcomes to anything. I attach intentions to things. Does that make sense? Those cards are the absolute shiz. The fact each one has a positive affirmation attached is awesome. I'm learning to accept they're not the evil I was taught them to be as a child. I think that's it. I think there's a lot of sort of horror stories, isn't there, around tapping into things like spirituality, or me and Lou were talking about this last night, manifestation. We as a community and a wider community as well, so lots of you have audiences of your own. We talk about manifestation. We talk about law of attraction. We talk about vibrations. We talk about vision boards and stuff like that. It's like an extension of that. It's like an extension of that. It is that's all it is. You know, if you superstitiously throw salt over your left shoulder, or, you know, in fact, do any of you have any weird superstitions? I'm here for these. They're not weird. We're not calling you weird, but we are the weirdos, mister. You know what I mean? But have any of you got any like little rituals or little like superstitions that you have that you've got to do? My sister will not pass me salt to the table like this. Have any of you heard of this? So say me and her are sat across from each other on a table, and she's got the salt at her side and I can't reach all the way over to go and get it. I'll say, will you do me a favor? Will you pass me the salt? And she will pass me the salt onto the table. I can't take the salt off of her. So much to learn about why tarot is considered evil historically. It's a lot to do with the like really sort of horror story patriarchy, isn't it? Worth knowing it's pretty much all down to men in the church taking women's power. 100%. 100%. You know, it was at a time, you know, when previously the divine feminine had been the thing that were worshipped, and that, you know, for the people that were in power made them uncomfortable, right? I wave at magpies. Me too. Like, I'm really nice to them. Like, I can't not salute a single one. Yeah, like, and when you're driving as well. And do the number of magpies bother you? Like, hello, Mr. Magpie, how's your wife and children? Every single time. Hello, Mr. Magpie, how's your wife and children? Sometimes I have to say it like under my breath a little bit. If I'm like walking and I'm in a busy street and I see a magpie, hello, Mr. Magpie, how's your wife and children? Me and my sister, if we're driving along in the car and one of us sees a magpie, we have to get the other one to see the magpie too, as well, because one magpie seen by two means good luck to both of you. But yeah, morning, Major. Do you salute the magpie? We're often told people's horror stories when we were at church, how they used something like cards or Ouija and everything became dandy after Jesus. Okay. I'm certainly not poo-pooing anyone's religious beliefs on here, but I know that there's a lot of closed-mindedness which doesn't serve the wider world community. Yes, 2 for joy. When I see one, I'm always saying, where's your mate? Where's your mate? Where's your mate? Quick, quick, quick. But I don't see 1 for sorrow. I don't go, oh, I think something bad's going to happen. And I could quite easily do that, but I don't. Hello, Mr. Magpie, how's your wife and children? When I'm with my sister, oh, there's a magpie over there. And sometimes I'll be driving and she'll go, there's a magpie. And I'm not driving, I can't look. I'm a superstition queen. There's not a superstition I haven't bought into. Salt magpies, drains. What's a drain superstition? Shoes on a table. New shoes on a table. And I think that, for me, stems back to watching Blood Brothers as a child. New purses. You mean if you've bought a new purse or you're gifting a purse, you've got to put a penny in that purse. You can't gift an empty purse. Is it that one? I find it fascinating. And going past a funeral procession, do you mean like what Nicole explained to me? I want to know what these superstitions are, because like I kind of know some of them, but I don't know all of them. So going past a funeral procession, do you have to stop what you're doing? The very fact that we say bless you is a superstition in and of itself, because in the medieval times they used to think if you were sneezing, it was your soul trying to escape your body. Bless you. Get back in. Trust me, I put church in for a reason. Each to their own, but I recognise the sheer control and fear-mongering. Now, yeah. And do you know what's beautiful is that more people are waking up. And you're speaking to Lou, and Lou's a practicing, so she practices lots of aspects within what you would call sort of witchcraft. But it isn't witchcraft like, oh, let's make a curse or all of that sort of stuff. It's just connection with nature. It's connection with herbs and connection with self and connection with animals, and just it's this connection piece that I don't walk over drains. I don't know why, but you know, like when you get it's not a drain, what they called like grids on the path. Like flat grids. I couldn't walk over 3, and even now I avoid walking over 3 of them. I don't know why. I don't even know where that's come from, but I'm not on my own. Yeah, walking over drains. Is that in case you fall down them? Why don't you walk over drains? Who else has got funny superstitions? I want to know. I'm not very superstitious. I do tell Joe off if I worry about something he says being put into the like I make sure now that everybody watches how they talk in the house. Is that it must be, that is a superstition, isn't it? You know, we can't prove that that's the case, but it's definitely the way I know. It's the way that I live, that my thoughts become my words become my actions become my outcomes. So if my words aren't quite right, then my actions aren't going to be quite right, and my outcomes aren't going to be quite right. I avoid them altogether. You avoid the 3s. Going back to divine feminine, women who walk with the wolves is amazing. Is that a program? You don't, Rachel, you don't walk over 3 drain covers. I thought it wasn't just me, and I don't know where it's come from. Some people don't walk over 2, but yeah, don't walk over 3. How weird. Anyway, so okay, a book. I'm gonna have a look at that. I'm going to have a look. So if you got, hang on a second. So if you go, wait there, I'm getting everyone's superstitions. I try not to absorb everybody's. So if you go past a funeral procession, I always stop or pause my thoughts if I'm driving and say love and light to the departed and those that grieve through. Yeah, I get that. Just as a connection thing as well. Like if a funeral procession goes past me and, you know, think about the family and hold them in my thoughts for a second. Penny in a purse. Yeah. I remember this. And my grandma, she bought me and my sister a purse. There was 10 pence in there, or a pound in there, or 50p in there. And I was like, ooh. And she used to say, never gift a purse with that penny in it. I've never been superstition. We got 2 black cats and lived at number 13. Like, I love the number 13. And I'm not entirely sure why. I just love it. I have a gross one. I never change the bed when my husband works away. It smells a bit of a superstition. It's more like a ritual, isn't it? Oh. Stops the wallet always being empty. I see. Nina, you don't have to put a caveat on how long it takes for you to change your bedding when your husband goes away. I don't give a shit. He was away for 6 months one time, like, crusty bed sheets when he comes back. Oh, look at this. Mary Magdalene Revealed is a good book about the divine feminine and the Gospel of Mary. I try not to dig too deep into it, like, so I get swept away with all sorts. Honestly, it eats me up at night time when I think about things, and it just it starts to spiral, and I'm researching into all sorts. It's ridiculous. Too many solo magpies around for my... No, they're good. Just give them a little salute. Ask them how the wife and kids are. It's fine. Even, you know, it is what it is. The only things that used to bother me are things I've been unpacking from those church teachings. Oh, I always thought that manifesting was asking for trouble. It felt like a superstition. Working on that now, even after the car and the cat. I think that sometimes when we start to unpick these things and understand that, you know, whether you look at it from a science point of view or a spiritual point of view, it's your intention that you attach to it. And if you always attach good intention, your thoughts become your words actions, your actions outcomes. And I think really that's kind of where I'm at with all of it. So like having the tattoos, for example, all of these tattoos mean something. You know, I've got a crown. Of course I've got a crown. My finger tattoos to have an anchor to remind me, to ground myself, to remind me that that yes, I'm tethered, even though I feel like I might be flying away sometimes. I've got a diamond to represent my resilience, and that, you know, this has been forged under pressure and is precious as a result. Someone posted yesterday, I think it was Brenda Gabriel. She posted, "You'll want to be diamonds, but you don't want to get cut." And I was like, oh, I get that. And then another little crown here. And then this is a Maya Angelou tattoo, and Still I Rise. So these are all sort of homages to my past and reminders to be present. Then I've got my war paint one, just because I bloody love makeup. And then this is like my family tattoo. So this is like my wedding tattoo. You have to ignore that. This is really weird. It's a weird thing that happens. This is a cold sore on my elbow. Really weird thing that happens to me when I'm run down or when I'm like overworked or what have you. This pops up and makes me feel poorly. But yeah, it's got a poppy, a daisy, and an ivy. And then mine and Wallace's hands, if you will, my red nails here. That's the colour that he wore on our wedding day. So that's like our family tattoo. I didn't want it to like Wallace put across my arm. So that's just sort of representative of our family coming together. And then I've got a queen bee tattoo with the poppy and ivy and some daisies around it. And then I've got this one. This is like my joke tattoo. Sassy, classy, and a bit badassy. This is one of my like chaviest tattoos. And then I've got a lighthouse with poppy, daisy, and ivy on it. So you can see a lot of these are kind of just keeping my kids with me. But a lighthouse for my kids that you know, they can always come home. They can always, you know, they'll always find their way home wherever that home is. And then I've got my crown one there, and I've got my little bee. I don't think I've showed you guys that before. Weird question. Do I have eczema? No, I don't have eczema. It's a cold sore. It comes up in little blisters, and then the blisters pops and it goes like this, and it happens when I get really run down. Long story. It's a long story, but yeah, when I get run down, that kind of pops up. Yeah, you can always come home. And then I've got my big chesty one again. You can see there's more poppies and daisies. I don't know where the ivy leaves are, the little ivy leaves. And then a heart here. And then I've got, and I had to get it double. I don't think I can show you. Can you see it? I've got a little Chinese symbol. Of course, I got that in the early 2000s. It is, and that doesn't say egg fried rice, it says tiger, because I was in a lift one time and they must have been Chinese. They were stood behind me and they went, tiger, like that. And I was like, yes, I'm so pleased it doesn't say number 62. I'm meaning to be politely inquiring for a while. When are you taking some time off to relax, Mrs. QB? You've been full on for bloody months now. You will be pleased to know that I am going to be taking a little bit of time off, not next week, because the cart is open for Be Inspired next week. We'll be opening the doors to that tonight, Be Inspired and Be Heard. Then the cart will close, and then I will be taking a few days off, and then I'll be taking another few days off around the end of the month. We've got family that are coming. Yes, I'll be taking a few days off then. And then we are booking a holiday. So I have got time coming up. I know you lot worry about me. I get it. And I promise, and my team are on my back as well about getting some time off and making sure that I'm practicing what I preach with you guys and the incredible guests that we share, is building that time off and doing things like nice things. Last night for me was like a time off situation, even though like it was a big tattoo on my leg. But yeah, that was a real act of self-care last night for me, and I really enjoyed it. It was just for me. And the funny thing is that, you know, that tattoo is just for me. And, you know, I would never have gone in and go, do me a world with holding in hands and some sun and the galaxy and shit. I just would never have done it. Really great experience. Right. Okay. You lot, you bloody lovely lot. It's been lovely hanging out this morning, just having a little hangout together. Thank you for joining me. Shall I pull a card for us today? Shall I pull a card for all? We'll do a collective one. We'll do a community card pull. I won't do one for individuals. There's a guidebook here. These are brand new, fresh. So there's my little guidebook. Let's pull a community card before we all scatter to the wind before 8 o'clock tonight, shall we? So I'm going to open them up. I'm not looking at any of them. I'm going to give them a little shuffle. Community card pull. I feel like we should maybe do this once a week. We'll just pull a little card together, and it'll get us thinking about what it is that we need to reflect on and get intense. Nina's going to wait for. Oh God, I'm trying to shuffle it like a Las Vegas croupier. I want to make sure that they're really shuffled. I have a heart with a lily through it on my wrist. And if Lillian is nervous about being away from me, I draw a heart on her wrist, and then she has my heart and I have hers. Oh, until we're back together again. She's 5. Nicole, stop it. Oh, it's beautiful. Right. Oh, I felt like a very abrupt. I'm going to stop shuffling, and this is our card. Knock, knock, knock. Let's set some intentions, right? Knock, knock, knock. We're going to set some intentions. What do we want to create for ourselves over the next, week? We'll do this again next Friday. So I want to create abundance in community. That's what I always want to create, for not just for me, but for you guys as well. So how are we doing there? Oracle, tell us. Set your intentions. Close your eyes if you want to close your eyes. Take a breath on it. I am going to draw the card. Oh, the door to romance. Oh, I'll have to tell Wallace. Right, the door to romance. What is this? Let me have a look in my guidebook and I'll tell you what it is. I'm manifesting being paid what my art is worth. And your art is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we're on number 33. The door to romance, page 105. Right, are you ready? Upright. Okay. Whether you're looking for a new relationship or just more love in the relationship you're in, this door with a heart opens onto a new beginning in your experience. A new love may be arriving, and you are being brought together by a strong, resonant connection. This may be a call from a past life, or maybe a new tenderness about to bloom into a heartfelt affection. This relationship already exists in energetic potential, so when this card appears in your spread, make sure you are projecting the kind of self-loving energy that you want to receive from others. Be aware that the universe returns your self-caring treatment to you. It's ready to open that door. Are you? Oh, are you ready for the affirmation? The affirmation is this. As I open the door to my own self-love, I attract more and more loving tenderness to me. Oh, right. I love it. I love the fact that we were just talking about self-love and self-care just before I pulled that as well. I am here for it. And yesterday was a lovely act of self-love and self-care, even though it was a tattoo getting scratched onto my thigh. It was a beautiful experience to have as a part of it. So there you go. The love of your community. You've got to, it's like what RuPaul said. If you don't love yourself, how the hell is anybody else going to love you? That's not the quote, I'm paraphrasing. I love this. I picked up Lemurian and a rose quartz today. Self-love vibes. I love it. So on that note, I will see you tonight at 8 p.m. For the world premiere of the new IATQB promo video for the celebration and a competition winner reveal. And also, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about charisma and what that actually means and how you can create more charisma within yourself and the things that you do in your business. All right, a little bit of X Factor situation tonight. In the meantime, love yourselves. I'll see you later. I love you guys. You've been incredible this week and all of the weeks. Back to normal or semi-normal this week. I'm going to be letting you know about how you can get involved with the show at Rise Up Show this evening as well. So don't miss that. Right.